Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a local school district puts a pause on in-person learning due to cases of COVID. And COVID vaccination sites here in the Commonwealth see some shorter lines as demand for the jab decreases.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's Tuesday. I'm Dakota Makeris, and it's just before 5 o'clock. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our morning forecast. Brandon, I said this morning it's kind of warm, and you said, it's going down.
It's on the way down.
Yeah.
We had a midnight high thanks to a cold front, and it's sliding slowly down. We should be in the low 30s by this afternoon. So it's closer to 40 this morning in some spots, and you might even be seeing a little bit of wintry mix or some rain or some snow. It's showing up on satellite radar, but not much showing up on live pinpoint Doppler radar this morning, and it's getting thinner and thinner, but the clouds are still hanging around this morning. Again, 40 in Harlan, 40 Pikeville, Prestonsburg, 41 here in Hazard. We're the warmest spot in the region, but you see those temperatures starting to slide back toward Lexington at 29, Morehead's at 30, and then you see down toward Middlesboro, they're at 34 this morning. So we're going to slide throughout the day. Your out the door forecast only goes down as we head deeper into the day there. You see 35 by about 7 o'clock, and then low 30s as we head toward 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. And then we get into the 20-degree range a little bit later tonight. But I do think we see a slow clearing. We might even see some sunshine later today. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. COVID levels remain at a record high here in Kentucky, and now we've learned about a case at the governor's mansion. Governor Andy Beshear opened his news conference yesterday with word that his son tested positive. Now, he is okay. The first family is now taking precautions. Meanwhile, the state reported 3,912 new cases, bringing our case total to just more than 1,085,000. There were new deaths reported yesterday as well, putting the Commonwealth's death toll at 12,763. The positivity rate is now at more than 33%. And Kentucky Commissioner of Health, Dr. Stephen Stack, says the hospital rates, along with the number of people in the ICU and on the ventilator, are all less with Omicron than the Delta strain. Dr. Stack says the Omicron variant seems to not be impacting people's lungs as much previous strands. However, he says a growing problem is the number of people caring for those in the hospital.
We're running out of healthcare workers. And so there's a lot of beds in hospitals, and there's a lot of ventilators and a lot of other equipment, but not a lot of people to operate all this stuff. And as a more than 20-year practicing emergency physician, let me just assure you, you need the people. The machines don't do any good without the people.
Dr. Stack says the state's total vaccination rate has increased to 64%. He says hospitalizations right now with the Omicron variant are still highest for unvaccinated people. You can always find the latest COVID-19 information on our website at WYMT.com. While in quarantine, the governor shared some good news for Eastern Kentucky communities. The Kentucky Division of Abandoned Mine Lands is accepting applications for 2022 AML grants. The deadline to submit for a grant is April 1st, 2022. The governor says these grants are creating hundreds of jobs and helping grow Eastern Kentucky communities.
Since the program's inception, 63 projects in 23 counties in Kentucky have received collectively $138 million in funding.
Previous successful grant applications include industrial development, workforce training, infrastructure, tourism, agriculture, and community wellness projects. Well, Perry County is one of several school systems suffering from a staffing shortage due to a number of employees out with COVID. School officials say they will use NTI days for the rest of the week in hopes of giving students and staff time to quarantine before returning to in-person learning. The goal is for the school district to be open and in person again next week.
If we can safely get kids to school, safely supervise them when they're there, we want to be back in person. But we'll monitor it as the week goes on and make a decision next weekend.
Well, school officials say they will be in contact with the health department to make the best decisions for staff and students moving forward. More than 2.8 million Kentuckians have rolled up their sleeves to get vaccinated against COVID. At the start of the Omicron surge, more people signed up to get the shot, but that is starting to slow down. Now some vaccine clinics in Fayette County are being canceled.
We would have 10 vaccines for every one test, and now that's completely flip-flopped, and we probably have one vaccine for every 10 tests that we do.
Well, doctors at UK Children's Hospital say the drop in vaccination is contrasted by an uptick in child hospitalizations due to Omicron, emphasizing that the shot is safe for kids. Well, it's not a prescription for pot, but a product that comes from the same plant, pharmaceutical CBD, the stuff you can't buy at the store. Early studies show it could help prevent and treat COVID. The findings started at the University of Chicago, where patients taking CBD for epilepsy appear to be less vulnerable to COVID, something researchers never expected. The University of Louisville wanted to verify those results. They tested the product on human lung tissue and mice.
We found that there were lower viral loads, which indicates lower viral replication in the nasal tissues and the lungs.
Researchers want to take their efforts a step further, pushing for a human clinical trial. Their only real hurdle is funding. Well, the Big Blue Slam blood drive kicked off yesterday. This is the 14th year for the competition between UK and the Florida Gators. It's a chance for Kentucky fans to help save lives through the Kentucky Blood Center. This year's drive comes as the nation is facing a major blood shortage due to the pandemic. The drive runs through Friday, and folks here in Eastern Kentucky have a few different options to join in. 2 of Kentucky's 6 KBC donation centers are here in our region. You can find those in Pikeville and Somerset. There are also 2 mobile blood drives people can take part in. One of those is in Morgan County on Thursday. That will run from 12:30 through 6 p.m. The other is in Letcher County on Friday from 1 to 6 p.m. Well, thank you so much for getting your Tuesday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we come back, the most powerful telescope ever built finally reaches its destination 1 month after launch.
And some chances for rain, snow, wintry mixer around this morning. But the bigger story today is the falling temperatures. I'll tell you when we might see a rebound in about 3 minutes.